This video will show you how to score picture word tasks when using Curriculum-Based Measurement in Writing, or CBMW, in your classroom. As a reminder, here are the different types of CBMW tasks and which scoring procedures are used for each task. In this video, we will show you how to score picture word tasks. Let's review how to use each scoring procedure. Words written is the total number of words written in the sample. A word is any sequence of two or more letters separated from another sequence of two or more letters by a space. For words spelled correctly, any correctly spelled English word is counted as correct, even if a word is used incorrectly in the sentence, like a homonym. If the word itself is spelled correctly, like it would be in the dictionary, it is scored as a word spelled correctly. The incorrect usage in the context of the sentence will be accounted for when we score word sequences. Correct word sequences are any two adjacent words that are spelled correctly and used correctly in the context of the sentence, including capitalization and punctuation. Incorrect word sequences are any two adjacent words that are either not spelled correctly or not used correctly in context. Here is an outline of the steps we will be following as we score picture word tasks. First, count all the words written in the sample. Then, go back and underline any misspelled words in red. Count words spelled correctly. And then, with your blue pen, mark all correct word sequences, including capitals at the beginning and punctuation at the end of the sentence. With your red pen, mark all incorrect word sequences, and then total the scores for each scoring procedure. Here is our sample picture word probe. First, we count the number of words written. Remember, to count as a word written, a student has to write a sequence of two or more letters separated from another sequence of letters by a space. And we see that in the first sentence, the student wrote 5 words, and in the second sentence, the student wrote 4 words. Next, we underline any words that are misspelled. When we do this, we score the words just like a spell checker would. We can see that dishes in the first sentence and rund in the second sentence are both spelled wrong. Now we can count the remaining words in the sample as words spelled correctly. The first sentence has 4 words spelled correctly, and the second sentence has 3. Next, we will count correct word sequences. Using a blue pen, we will mark with an upward caret the places where 2 adjacent words are used correctly, starting with the first word. Let's look at the first sentence. We see that the first sentence starts with a capital I, so the student gets credit for a correct word sequence from the beginning of the sentence to the first word. From I to wash is correct because there are no misspelled words and the words are used correctly. From wash to thee is also correct, so we place blue carets there as well. We see that the word dishes was misspelled, so we do not put a blue caret on either side of that underlined word. The word today is spelled correctly, but the student did not end the sentence with a punctuation mark like they should have. So from the word today to the end of the sentence, there will be an incorrect word sequence, which we will score in a bit. There is nothing more to mark on that first sentence, so we see that that sentence has 3 correct word sequences. Let's look at the second sentence. The first word, thee, should be capitalized, but it's not, so that is not a correct word sequence. For now, we will leave it blank. From the end of the word the to the word mouse is correct because these words are both spelled correctly and used correctly in context. The student is only penalized for the missed capital at the beginning of the word and not at the end. So we place a blue caret between the words the and mouse. We see that the word rund is underlined, meaning it is not a correct English word. So we will not place a blue caret on either side of that word. Even though the word fast is spelled correctly, the student is still penalized on either side of the incorrect word rund. The word fast is correct, and the student did end the sentence with a punctuation mark, so they get credit from fast to the period. So we see that this sentence has 2 correct word sequences. Now let's score incorrect word sequences. On sentence 1, we see that the word dishes was underlined because it was misspelled, so it gets 2 red downward facing carets on either side of it. The last word today was spelled correctly. However, the sentence does not end with a punctuation mark. So the student gets an incorrect word sequence from the last word to the missing punctuation mark. So we see that sentence 1 has 3 incorrect word sequences. Let's look at sentence 2. The first word the is not capitalized, so the student gets an incorrect word sequence before the first word. The word rund is an incorrect form of the word ran, so it gets a red caret on either side of it. So we see that sentence 2 has 3 incorrect word sequences. Let's total the scores for the entire sample. We see that this student has 9 words written, 7 words spelled correctly, 5 correct word sequences, and 6 incorrect word sequences. We hope you found this video on how to score picture word probes helpful. Be sure to check out our other videos on how to score word dictation and story prompt probes.